What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Gary, aka In Gary We Trust, and I'm back again with another video. And in this video, I will be showing you basically 5 quick tips on how to spot something vintage. There is I know some people are still getting into thrifting. I believe thrifting is gonna be a big 2020 is gonna be a big year for thrifting. I feel like a lot of thrift stores are gonna be opening. Did go out to Cali last year, and I did see how much vintage shops are opening up. A lot of vintage spots open up in here in South Florida, and I just see vintage basically kind of overpowering streetwear basically in 2020. So I do see vintage having a good year. So basically, I just want to give you some quick tips if you're thrifting, you're new to thrifting, and you want to see how do you tell if something's vintage. You don't really know how to. This is why you're here. This is why we're here. So let's get straight to the point. By the way, I want to put it out there. When you're looking for a vintage item, usually people consider vintage from anything 2001 and earlier. That's really if you're really selling something vintage, people really consider that kind of vintage, 2001 and earlier. All right, so say if you're in the thrift store, the first thing you're looking for is, let's say, hats. Basically, I have 2 hats right here. I have one Orlando Magic hat from 1995, and I have this one US Open from 97. So with this hat, this was it's kind of a no-brainer. It says 1995 on it. And luckily I found this hat dead stock, which is pretty rare when finding hats. You do have a little sticker right there, and you do have that really big little starter tag inside the hat. And basically with the vintage hats, most of them are green brim. And is this one green brim as well? Yep, this one's green brim as well. And we'll say with this hat, it does say 1997 right there in the middle. And with this one, it does have that really big brand right inside the hats. So basically, when you're looking for a hat and you want to know how to age it, basically by the style, you guys are kind of familiar with the 90s style, and basically saying all the vintage hats will kind of have a big brand inside the hat. Some of them will be pretty dirty. And I was actually looking for more hats to show you to see if how to tell the different variations of vintage hats, but I just realized something. It is kind of a little bit harder to find hats in the thrift because usually when you go in a thrift store, there's not really a lot of hats available. So when if there's a vintage Chicago Bulls hat, and say if obviously hype beast being the vintage stores, but maybe even some of the old people or random person says, oh, they just see the hat just waving around over there, and they're oh, I like Chicago Bulls. Let me just buy it for myself. They don't even know that it's vintage. So you don't really need a lot of patience to find hats because there's not really a lot of hats in the store. Usually, if you see people big collections of hats, it's gonna be in they either buy it in bulk off. They got lucky off someone from a garage sale, or they just buy it on the secondhand market. And yeah, that's really about it for vintage hats. Alright, so with t-shirts, it's kind of almost a no-brainer. It's really easy to find out if a shirt is vintage or not. Basically, I found this one shirt in the thrift. I didn't know if it was vintage until I really had to take a second look at it. It's just really random shirt that says Aerobics by Aussie, I believe. Yeah, Asti or whatever. I just like the color of the shirt. Basically, how I found out that it was vintage was basically had a Hanes 50/50. These tags right here are usually on shirts from the 90s and earlier. They still make them for newer shirts, but it's most likely just stamped in the shirt. They're usually thrifted vintage shirts kind of have tags that are kind of hanging. You can move around the tag. Basically, it gives you kind of a better feel if the shirt's vintage or not. And there's on the sleeve, you can see that it's single stitch. You guys can see that, yeah, it's single stitch. Yeah, but and on the bottom of the shirt too, a lot of people kind of don't really know about this either. It will be single stitch on the bottom of the shirt as well, if you can see that. Yeah, so I know with the single stitch, some people have the argument that it's kind of a lesser quality shirt, which is kind of not true in a way because there's still some I guess you can say high fashion brands that still use single stitch shirts. I know Bape used it on all their shirts. Billionaire Boys Club used to use it on their shirts. I don't know. I think Supreme has really mostly have been double stitch. I know Human Made does single stitch. So yeah, basically that's just really the quickest way to find out if a shirt is vintage or not. Is kind of it has kind of a big tag, and it's single stitch on the sides and the bottom of the shirt. Especially on this shirt here, I found it the same day I found that other t-shirt. This is actually a really dope long sleeve tie-dye shirt. At first, I thought it was Grateful Dead. I was really hyped, but I don't think it's really Grateful Dead. On the tag, it says Hanes Beefy. You see that on a lot of the shirts from the 90s and earlier. really big flaps around. And basically, if you want to see like find the year when the shirt was made, you kind of have to look a little bit smaller. Like on like right here, it does say 1991. Hopefully my camera can get it. If not, I might just have to do B-roll. And kind of figure out if the shirt, if that, I was kind of not really like sold that it was vintage, because there's some shirts that say, oh, 1980 from 1973, but really it's not. They just printed it on the shirt. What kind of like confirmed it for me is that the bottom of the shirt was actually single stitch, as you can see like right here. Yeah, pretty obvious. And I was really dope. I was actually gonna sell the shirt, but I think I might keep it in the collection because it's pretty hard to find tie-dye long sleeves, and the tie-dyes are really going for like really good money right now. Okay, so now my favorite part to go thrifting is when I'm in a thrift store. This is my favorite section to look. It definitely has to be the shorts. As everyone knows me, I'm a really big fan of shorts. I will wear shorts almost everywhere. If I was allowed to wear shorts to a wedding, I probably would. Because like I'm from South Florida. It's always hot in here, and I'm always looking for an excuse to not wear jeans or pants. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'll have a lot of different variations of shorts. But just to keep the video short, there's a couple to make like just like quick assumptions to see if like the shorts is vintage. Usually vintage shorts are very like thin and like kind of paperweight. And I usually like to go into like the swim trunk area, because usually when you go in the swim trunk area, you're basically gonna find like all like the vintage Adidas shorts, Nike shorts, and I love collecting Nike shorts. So basically, to see if like this Nike short is vintage, it's going to have a white tag. White Nike tag looks kind of similar like this. And then you have, see, where is it at? You have the little Nike logo right there. And a lot of the Nike shorts have Nike on the back of the shorts just like that. And another short that actually you can tell if it's vintage as well, it's gonna have like a tag just like that as well, just a little bit bigger. Really dope. This is just like a plain navy short. I believe I showed these on the channel already. Really cool, simple swoosh right here as well. I have two other shorts as well that can basically I found, and I just wanted to see if it was vintage or not. I found these really dope like patchwork shorts right here. Really crazy. I love like the detail on it. Basically, if Supreme did a short like this, they're selling it for at least $200. Really dope. And the quickest way to find out if the shorts were like vintage or not, a lot of the shorts that have like basically they're like not a name brand like Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, or Nike, they basically just have like a random big tag just like this. And usually, and like always when I like go on like shorts and they have like kind of like the little fishnet that's inside, I always cut it out because it's pretty uncomfortable and kind of gross too if you wear it. And these possibly are like probably my favorite shorts that I thrifted personally. I found these at like a hole in the wall. These are these really old Tommy Hilfiger shorts. Really dope. And I love the back of it too. It's a Tommy Hilfiger in the back, and it has that Tommy Hilfiger little like zipper right here. Really dope. And especially I can tell that it was vintage. You just go like inside of the shorts, and you're gonna have like a little inside pocket, and it has that big Tommy Hilfiger flag right there. So next, the section in the thrift where I probably hate looking the most, and you guys probably already know this to all like the OG thrifters, people who thrift all the time, is the pants. Because literally when you go into a thrift store, there are so many pants and jeans, and it's just, for some reason, I don't know, it's just, especially with thrift stores, not really the Goodwills, but the thrift stores always have at least 200 to 300 jeans, especially the outlets. So literally it's crazy. So I only have one pair of jeans, because remember, I live in South Florida, so, and I already told you earlier in the video, I find every excuse to not wear jeans. But the only way to kind of like identify jeans is, in a way, because the only when you're looking for jeans, people just honestly just go to look for like either like the Levi's or the Tommy Hilfigers. You have some people that try to look for the Wranglers and the Lees, because usually when you go in like the jeans section, that's really all you see is Wranglers, and everyone knows that you can just honestly just find Wranglers at Walmart. And yeah, so like the only way to actually look for like the age of like at least the one Levi pant I have, I can actually show you in B-roll, is that basically is, as you can see, there is 989701S1A, and as you look below it, it says 989, and then you see 0803. So that's basically like the date these are made, which was August 3rd. So yeah, not really too vintage, just older. I just love the color on the jean. I love how like it faded it. I just like the design on the jean. And basically I should have tried these on before I bought them, because they're a little kind of too baggy on like the actual pant leg on, so I have to get these tailored. But yeah, I do like the color of the jean. Alright, so that is it for the video. I really hope this video did help, guys, especially for all the newbies that's starting to thrift. Because like, I love thrifting. Like, thrifting, it has saved me so much money. And honestly, I personally think that my outfits look a lot better now from thrifting, comparing from like 2 years ago. But yeah, I do understand why people tend not to thrift, because I don't want to wear used clothes. I don't want to like buy hats that could have a lice in it. I do understand like for health reasons. But yeah, like if you want to save money and look dope, thrifting is definitely the wave. I do feel like thrifting is going to take over 2020. Like I am going to ThriftCon, which is I believe March 8th. Down in Miami. I definitely will be there. Hope to see y'all there too. And remember, it's your boy and Gary we trust. Hope to see you guys at ThriftCon. I hope to reach at least 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, I have 4.5. I want to get at least 5,000 by, I'm gonna say like 2 to 3 months. So come on, help your boy out. And remember, it's your boy Gary, aka In Gary We Trust, and I'm out. So y'all be easy, all right? Later.